Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, from obedience to apprehension, the best of the best are competing at the National Field Trials for canines and their handlers. And a touching tribute to veterans. We're learning more about a program with purpose. Plus, we join the Audubon Society in Manatee County, discovering what you can find if you just stop, look, and listen. And later in the show, a massive project for manatees is about to be opened. We go behind the scenes for a look at what's to come. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. The bond between a police canine and its handlers is built on constant trust, shared risk, and intense daily cooperation. Their dependents, their teammates, and their family. This week in Manatee County, Florida, those bonds were on full display as the top 72 police canines and their handlers competed in the United States Police Canine Association National Field Trials. The pairs came from a dozen different agencies from all across the country. After earning a spot in the competition through qualifiers, showing loyalty and shared purpose are what it takes to make a top team.
Just seeing the dogs work, the dogs move, how well they're trained, the obedience, the loyalty, everything that makes a dog great, you see on display here today. We have over 75 teams competing from across the nation at a national canine event where they test the dog's obedience, apprehension, search work, multiple different facets of law enforcement canine are tested today.
Officers participated in obedience exercises that consisted of heeling control, which is how well the canine stays by his handler's side through different pace changes and turns.
The dogs that are here, obviously they're working police dogs, all that, and then they go through extra steps of training when they're not on calls and things like that. These handlers are putting in thousands of hours to get their dogs to a level where they can compete and be on the street.
They're also tested on walking control and distance control, testing the canine's response to hand and voice commands from at least 50 feet away. There were exercises in criminal apprehension, from false starts to recall. The dogs demonstrated strict self-control, showing that hours and hours and hours of training pay off.
The dogs you're seeing here today, they work 24/7 essentially around the entire country, responding to usually the most dangerous calls for service, and they're ready to do whatever they need to do to protect their handler, protect citizens. They're ready for it. Here in Manatee County, we use our dogs over 1,000 times a year on different calls. Now that's not 1,000 people that get bit or anything like that. That's just 1,000 times that we get a dog out and we either go to locate something or somebody. We have just over 10 what we call dual purpose dogs. So that would be your typical police canine, right? So he goes out or she goes out, apprehends criminals, that kind of things. And then the other job would be find drugs or find explosives. We have a couple other dogs with the sheriff's office as well. The most interesting thing I find when I talk to people and I try to explain to them training, they really are shocked to know that these dogs are just regular dogs. There's nothing different about them. There's nothing different about any of it other than the amount of training they get and the training style. So I can give you an example. Everybody that has a dog has seen their dog run into the laundry room or run into, let's say, a living room, and they dig their nose underneath the couch and they're all excited. As a dog owner, you know there's something underneath there he wants, right? It's a toy, it's a potato chip, who knows what it is. That's the way we train pretty much police canines to find drugs and explosives and everything else. They think it's their toys, so they're just having a good time. I think it's really interesting that there's dogs from New Hampshire, there's dogs from New York, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Illinois. I mean, it's all over the country. So you're really getting to see what everybody else is doing around the country, and we get to talk with them, you know, at hospitality hour, and we really get to make relationships here that last a long time.
Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Jeremy Bertolino and K9 Vinny placed third overall and placed first in the obedience category. And Deputy Kyle Shavers and K9 Tier placed 10th overall and second in the searches category. Congratulations to all the winners. And now, on to another special kind of bond. This one between veterans. Recently, Mote Marine hosted a group of veterans who put on their dive gear to create a meaningful moment for visitors at the new Science Education Aquarium. It's part of a program for combat wounded veterans who join forces with Mote biologists that make a big difference in Florida waters.
We're approaching the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month when Veterans Day was established many, many years ago. We're celebrating all that our veterans have done to give us our freedom here in this nation, the sacrifices they have made, and the new mission that the Combat Wounded Veteran Challenge has with Mote Marine Laboratory in restoring our coral reef ecosystems so that future generations can enjoy them. And we wanted our combat wounded vet partners to be with us today on this very first Veterans Day of the new Mote Science Education Aquarium to celebrate the partnership that we've had now for nigh on 14 years working together. And it is one of the most satisfying and honorable things that I have ever done in my entire professional career, is working with these men and women who have sacrificed so much for our country. They're making a huge difference, not only in outplanting genetically resilient corals out into the waters that are going to survive increasing temperatures, increasing ocean acidification, and coral disease, but they're also helping us in all facets of our coral research program, from maintaining the land-based nurseries to the offshore nurseries to the outplanting, working in our laboratories as well, and the camaraderie that they have with the young scuba nauts that we're also partnering with, and the next generation coming up. It's just an incredible partnership, and we couldn't be more honored to have these men and women partnering with us.
The opportunity to even be in the presence of Dr. Crosby is an honor. And for him to invite us as partners to come here and dive for the first time here at the new aquarium. And my first ever experience diving in an aquarium with these beautiful fish, and knowing that what we do with Mote, we're helping these fish's family members, these sharks, these beautiful animals, we're helping their family members and the future of all their species to just to create a better planet. And you really just can't ask for more than to be able to experience this. It was a beautiful experience. I get emotional talking about him. Yeah, to have my 2-year-old son here on the other side of the glass to see his dad. It's a core memory for me. I hope it's a core memory for him, because one of these days he's going to be in this water, and I can't wait for that day. And yeah, I'm thankful to have that opportunity.
The camaraderie for us has been amazing, in that, a lot of us come back after our service either injured or not having a purpose at all, and being able to give back to something that's greater than ourselves has brought many of us together. Combat Wounded Veteran Challenge and No Person Left Behind kind of brings, as you said, a family together, and we are one big family. And now we have this purpose of saving the environment, and We just got back from a trip in October where we spent a week down there in the nursery, both on land and offshore. And when the week was over, we were spent. It was hard work. We did over 250 dives, and every one of the 14 of us said, "When are we going back next?" Because it is just that great of a week, and it gives us that sense of purpose. And we really, really thank you, because a lot of times, some people just don't have a meaning, and you've given a meaning, and you've given a life back to a lot of the people, and you don't get to see it, but you're really helping out.
To be able to partner up again with our Mote family to be able to do it, and it's on Veterans Day. It really doesn't get any better than this.
Without the men and women that protect this country, we wouldn't exist. Mote wouldn't exist. Our freedoms wouldn't exist. And it's very, very important. Mote has a culture of family, and these men and women from Combat Wounded Veteran Challenge, they're part of the Mote family now, which is part of our national family. And we just thought all of the sacrifices that they've made for the country, but also all the volunteer work that they're doing for Mote to help restore our coral reefs, we wanted to celebrate this day with them, the first time ever in this new Mote Science Education Aquarium.
For much more on this program or many of the others that Mote has to offer, log on to mote.org. Conservation initiatives at a local level, coming up next on Animal Outtakes. See how the Audubon Society plays a major role in protecting birds, and how bird watching can connect you to the natural world. After the break.
What happens to your pet if something happens to you? It's a tough question, but an important one. At Dante's Den Foundation, we offer a solution. It's called Lifetime Care, a way to ensure your pet continues to live the life you've always shared. It's a chance to determine exactly what happens to your beloved friend in the event of your passing. For more on how you can provide the kind of life your pet deserves, visit us at dantesden.org.
Welcome back. The mission of the Manatee County Audubon Society is to protect, preserve, and restore the natural environment. And in order to do that, they have to create an awareness and an appreciation of birds, wildlife, and the native habitat. We recently met up with the group at the Palma Sola Botanical Park in Bradenton, Florida, where one of their free guided tours was happening. And it didn't take long to see why this mission is so important and why so many work so hard to create opportunities like this.
When you're out in nature, you want to protect nature. So that's why we encourage people to come out and just be a part of it with us. We're going on a guided walk that Manatee County Audubon Society does throughout the county to enjoy nature, talk about the birds that are around us, and really just get people out into nature and enjoy it. We're seeing a lot of wood storks today, but there's a lot of herons and egrets. We saw some eagles and warblers, specifically the palm warbler and the black and white warbler, and hummingbirds. So we had a great collection of birds today. There's a lot of benefits for being out in the nature for your health, both mental and physical, but it's also a way to connect with other people who are birders, who are nature enthusiasts that you don't normally get if you go out on your own bird watching. So there's that community of people.
Two bald eagles.
Manatee County Audubon Society is a chapter of the National Audubon Society. We work in Manatee County and the surrounding areas to preserve and protect and conservation of habitats for animals and particularly birds. We're hemispheric now, so you can find Audubon chapters anywhere from Canada all the way down to South America. Right now we're in fall migration, and it is a time where a lot of birds fly to their winter destination, and it's important to have habitat along the way for them to stop and relax. And we have wintering birds here who stay, like our painted bunting, and it's a beautiful, small, colorful bird that everybody enjoys seeing this time of the year. And it's imperative to be advocates for the birds and for conservation, and I think that's what Audubon does best. It's a great way to learn. We are, I believe, a very warm and open organization that can help people to appreciate the birds and birding. But you can bird anywhere. You can bird in your backyard. You can, as you're going on walks, in parking lots. You can enjoy nature wherever you are. And it's not a stressful thing. It's something to take you away from the stress. They're such a pivotal species to show what our environment, how our environment is. The health of the environment depends on if there's birds in the area. So if you're not planting native plants, if you're not protecting stopovers for birds, then you're going to see less of these birds in your area. So we really just want to make sure that it's available to the birds to come back to.
For more on their full calendar of events, go to manateeaudubon.org. And coming up next on Animal Outtakes, we take a hard-hat tour behind the scenes as ZooTampa's expanded Manatee Rescue Center nears completion. The Manatee Critical Care Center at ZooTampa is one of only 4 of critical care centers in the world. Since the early 90s, they've rehabilitated more than 600 manatees. And for the past 5 years, this nonprofit has been working on their biggest expansion ever. And we went behind the scenes to get a look at the project, which will give visitors an opportunity to witness the real-time, life-saving work that takes place every day for these manatees.
This by far is the biggest expansion we've had so far in the zoo's history, I believe. All right, so we're here today at ZooTampa's new project, Manatee Rescue, which will open in spring of 2026. Right now, we're standing right in front of our new otter habitat, Otter Oasis. You can kind of see we've got a training wall right here for the otters, and then it goes down and it'll lead into underwater viewing for the guests. This area was previously our old otter habitat, and then since it's been renovated, it's about double the size, more natural plantings, more lush, and then river streams for the otters as well.
We're really excited that Manatee Rescue will be opening very soon. It's been a very long road through construction, from the planning all the way through. Now we're at the final touches, and cannot wait to share it with guests in our community. We worked really hard on this project and cannot wait.
So the tunnel has essentially been fully gutted. We selectively demolished certain areas in order to keep the manatee operation going during the 2-year construction. So this wall to my left was selectively demolished, the ceiling was kept, and then the acrylic and the weight of the water on the side was all supported so Molly and her team can keep their operation going during construction.
You know, it's been really wonderful to be a part of this project. As an animal person, we wanted to have a say in what the animals would be living in, to have the best welfare possible, as well as state of the art. And so we've been a part of this project since we began several years ago. And now we meet once a week with the constructions team to really make sure everything is, all of our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted, and we wanted to make sure that everything is going well. We're very pleased. Things are really coming together. And really, at this point, we're getting excited because the animals are going to be coming in really soon.
So this building kind of tells the story and the journey of a manatee. So you kind of start above water here in the cypress trees, and then we'll kind of go down in underneath the mangrove roots to where we're kind of underwater, and then we'll come back up, and you'll kind of see that in the theming of the brackish reef tank on the other side. So it kind of shows kind of the animals that are around the manatees and their journey around in the Florida waters. You got the 3 jelly cylinders over here, which will house moon jellies when it's open, and then the Florida reef tank in the back, which will house just a mixture of fish species that you'll see typically down in the Florida Keys and on the reef.
Our old building needed to be renovated. It was time for a makeover, and we really wanted to highlight the species that live here in Florida. You know, even though people maybe have lived here their whole life, they don't always get those opportunities to go out and see the animals. So getting that chance for kids to see them up close, it'll be visitor friendly for them where they can see those fish. You know, not everybody can go scuba diving. Even jellyfish, we've never had jellies at our facility, so we're really excited to take on that program. You know, otters as well. We're gonna have several otters, and they're just one of the most fun animals to care for. As far as that habitat, actually, one of the things we've done is really make it keeper friendly, where our staff will be able to interact with those animals and guests get to see them up close and personal, where we do our training with them. That's really one thing we're really proud of at our facilities. So it's gonna be really exciting. I know guests are going to love it.
This will house, you know, snook, mullet, those fish you typically see, you know, in the brackish waters of Florida. It's one solid piece of acrylic, and actually both pieces of acrylic in here are solid. And we had to crane them in with the largest crane in the Southeast United States back in June. This is when the roof was off to the building and the trusses weren't there. We dropped it in and recessed it. It took about 1 day for each piece of acrylic, and lots of coordination on the construction side, the animal side, and really the zoo overall. It was about, I want to say this one was 7,000 pounds, and the reef tank glass was 9,000 pounds. It's really highlighting the conservation initiatives that Molly's team does. So you get the first look at the care that we give the animals, as well as it tells the journey and kind of the surrounding of the animals once they're released and what they handle.
We really teach living with wildlife here at ZooTampa. We know people are going to be out on their boats, they're going to be out hiking in the forest, and we want them to be able to live safely with wildlife. A lot of people don't realize that all the manatees we have here at the zoo are all rescues, and our goal is to get them all back to the wild, and we need your help to do that.
I hope they leave with a sense of pride that their visit today helped support, you know, the work that we do at the zoo, as well as, you know, just continuing that mission on in their own daily lives. You know, if they're out on the water, enjoying a Saturday, you know, they just know that manatees are out there and they take action, you know, to help protect them, carry the mission that ZooTampa sets forth.
The new manatee attraction is scheduled to open in the spring of 2026, and we'll be right back.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some educational and engaging encounters. Until then, thanks for watching.